Hello everybody, welcome to TechCentric. You may recognize us from To Show. We're done with To Show. This is our brand new show. We hope you like it. Let's go right into our first segment. Steve, why don't you introduce our first segment? What do we got for it?
Our first segment is actually all about my Mini-ITX. I'm very proud of it, so go ahead and check it out. Hi, I'm Steve, and this is my Mini-ITX mod right here. Let's start on the outside, and I'll give you a quick show around. Right here in the front is the power LED and the hard drive activity LED that we modded in. Also a power switch here. On the front face of here, we got the two fans at 13 CFM each. We got the power plug modded in. We have a hole here where we're going to put in a CD drive, but that's okay. It's good for ventilation at the moment. Plan on filling it in later. On this side right here, we also have our plate with all the different inputs and outputs. Alright, and let's go take a look at the inside. Alright, on the inside, we got right here the hard drive. This is a 60 gig max store hard drive. Right here, custom ordered from i.pc.com, is a 150 watt max power supply unit. We got the EPA Mini-ITX NHEMA 1 gigahertz processor on here. We also have the wireless internet built in. We have the receiver for the ATI Wonder Pro. Two fans again, and the 512 megabytes of memory. Alright, that's my Mini-ITX, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you at a LAN party near you.
Steve, that Mini-ITX is very impressive.
Thank
How
you.
much was the total cost for that?
Around 220 or
That's
so.
fairly cheap for such a cool looking machine.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, next segment we have would be the voice over IP. I did this segment and I'm quite proud of it. I'm going to be bringing a lot of voice over IP and Asterisk because it's kind of my new hobby. So we'll go right into it. This is Asterisk 101. Hi, so today I'm going to be showing you how to work Asterisk at home to manage incoming calls through all free services using all free software and hardware that's readily available. First, I'll explain to you a little bit about my setup. I'm using a Comcast cable modem connected to the Comcast network and a very old computer right behind me. It's an IBM 300 megahertz Pentium 2. It does the job perfectly fine. The software that we will be using is Asterisk at Home. That's at asteriskathome.sourceforge.net. Asterisk at Home is an easy-to-use distribution which combines Asterisk open source PBX software with CentOS, which is based on the powerful Red Hat Linux Enterprise platform. This gives us a very easy-to-use platform with all kinds of pre-installed scripts and all things like that. The first step in the process after you've installed and configured your Asterisk machine and it's up and running, which mine is clearly behind me. It's the monitor on the top row, which you'll be able to see once I start changing things. Once you do that, you're going to want to sign up for a Free World Dial-Up account. That's at freeworlddialup.com. Free World Dial-Up is a non-profit organization that's sanctioned by the FCC. It actually provides all kinds of free voice over IP protocols and tunnels and proxies and all kinds of really cool stuff for the open source market for voice over IP. Second thing, after you sign up for a Free World Dial-Up account, you're going to want to sign up for an account at ipcall.com. That's ipkall.com with a K, obviously. And what ipcall does is gives you a free Washington State DID number, which is basically just your 9-digit phone number, and it's a free one, and it's terminatable to a Free World Dial-Up account. So what you will do is you'll sign up for both of those, and you link your ipcall to your Free World Dial-Up account. And then every time anyone on the regular PSTN network dials your ipcall number, it will route it to your Free World Dial-Up account, and thus route it to your Asterisk machine. Once you've signed up for FreeWorld Dial-Up, you need to log into the My FWD page on the FreeWorld Dial-Up homepage. Once you're there, you're going to go to your settings and you're going to turn on IAX2. What IAX2 is, it stands for the Inter-Asterisk Exchange, and it's a very robust and simple protocol for linking two Asterisk servers directly together. Now what you're going to be doing, if you don't understand already, is you're going to be taking your Asterisk machine and linking it directly via the IAX2 protocol straight to FreeWorld Dial-Up's Asterisk machines.
Go to the FreeWorld Dial-Up page at freeworlddialup.com. Click on My FWD. Put in your FreeWorld Dial-Up username and password, and click Sign In. Wait for it to load. It can sometimes be a little laggy. Once you see all your information, click on the Extra Features on the side of the page. Here you will see the IAX settings. Go ahead and click this checkbox on, hit Submit, and wait about 20 minutes, and you'd be all set.
Once IAX is turned on and your machine can communicate very well with the FreeWorld Dial-Up machines, you're going to need about a 15-minute break before you touch anything, because IAX on the FreeWorld Dial-Up network for some reason is very flaky. So once you turn it on, don't immediately touch, just don't touch anything once you do that. Just give it a good 20 minutes to kind of settle in and do its thing, and then you can go in and go ahead and add in your trunks. And what a trunk is a line, basically a phone line on an Asterisk machine or a channel, and it tells it where things are going to be coming in and out of the machine. And trunks are in and out only. They don't go inter-asterisk. Like, so if you're calling one extension to another, it's not using any kind of trunk. A trunk will be only dialing to the rest of the world, or the rest of the world dialing into you. So you're going to go ahead and add a trunk to your Asterisk machine. This is very simple.
Administering your Asterisk at Home server is fairly easy using the AMP portal. To access this, go to your IP address of your Asterisk machine on port 80 and click on the Asterisk Management portal. Once you're in here, to add a trunk, you're going to need to go to the Setup tab and click on the trunks on the left. Click on Add a new IAX2 trunk, name the trunk FWD, and paste in this code, which will be up on our site. Once you have everything added to the correct boxes, click Submit Changes and click the red button at the top. At this point, your Asterisk machine should now be communicating with FWD.
So now you have your Asterisk machine communicating to the FreeWorld Dial-Up network, which is communicating to IP call network, which is communicating to the regular PSTN network, so that people can dial a regular PSTN number and get to your computer. Now what you need to think about is how you want to deliver that signal from your computer to your ear. There's several options for this. First being, you can use a soft phone, which basically feels kind of like Skype, but instead of connecting from your computer to the Skype network, it would be connecting from your computer to your other computer, which will, basically it's a soft phone, so it acts just like a hard phone, which I'll explain here now. My hard phones, which I have all over my house, wired into my Asterisk machine, are Super 2000 boxes. Now these boxes are about $60, and it's important to note that this part right here is the only Super part. This is a power supply. And I got these Super boxes out of a dumpster, and dumpsters don't come with DC converters, last time I checked. So I had to just kind of make one. Now this power supply here powers all the Super boxes throughout my house. And when you call my house, you get a IVR prompt, and that's a whole nother show. But basically, this is what I've chosen to do. What this does is it takes your Ethernet on one side of it, and just as simply as this, just converts it straight to RJ11, which, as we all know, plugs into your regular house phones. So now you have your Asterisk machine talking to your Super boxes. That's a whole different process, and it kind of varies per device. Basically, what you're going to want to do is just go into the AMP menu and add a extension, and it's a very straightforward process.
So here we are back at the AMP portal to add an extension. To do this, go to the Setup tab, click Extensions on the left, and here you are presented with a variety of different types of extensions to add. SIP, or Session Initiation Protocol, is usually used for most hard phones, while IAX is used for most soft phones. We will be adding an SIP extension. The options on this screen should be fairly straightforward. Extension number is the number that you will want to use on internal dialing. Display name is the name that will be displayed to users on the same PBX. Outbound caller ID is the caller ID that will display on other users' caller IDs with displays outside of your PBX, so people like you would call outside, which this tutorial doesn't cover. Also have some various recording options, and the secret password, which will also have to be shared with your device. Once you have all that filled in, just hit submit and click the red button.
Second to last step of our journey here will be to add your inbound routing. And what inbound routing is, it will tell it what extension to send it to, or what digital receptionist, or what voicemail, or what queue to send it to. We're going to be sending it straight to our Sapura 2 box, which is running on the extension 1337, which is lead. And so I'm going to go hook this back up, and then we will demo that. Okay, so now that you have your hardware and your software and your soft phones and your hard phones and your asterisks and your IAXs and your free world dial-ups and your pulvers and all kinds of proxies and everything to tie it together, there's one thing left to do, which is to test your fruits of your labor and see if it actually works. We will be dialing mine, which is at 360-226-7313. Using my cell phone. You can use any regular house phone or anything like that. It's important to remember, since it is going through both the cell network and the internet and free servers, it will take a little bit while to connect, but it shouldn't take that long. As you can see, Free World Dial-Up has instructed my phone to tell this one to ring. We will answer and test it. Woot. Woot. And hang up. And as you can see, it works. This is all free software, free hardware for the most part, free services. Everything you see here is free. It allows people to call you from a regular phone and talk to you at your computer or at a regular phone for free. You know, this is a great way to kind of give it to the corporations and kind of, you know, AT&T and the big guys to kind of, you know, this is the wave of the future right here. This is IP telephony, and I think this will really take off. Anything you see here will be in the show notes, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me at will@techcentric.org, or see the contact page for any other form of contacts, and also feel free to call the number and leave a message on the voicemail that's sitting on that machine. I hope you have lots of fun with whatever voicemail and Asterisk will take you, and tune in next episode for outgoing calls for free. See you then.
So Will, that was pretty cool. How long have you been doing that for?
Well, the voice over IP stuff, I've been involved with phones for a while, but the voice over IP, I just kind of recently acquired that hobby. I watched System, and if you haven't seen System, which I'm sure everybody's seen System, I recommend going and seeing System. They have a good Asterisk segment, and it really got me into Asterisk.
All right, cool. Well, coming up on our next segment, we're going to teach you how to do a real hardcore geek thing. Is actually read binary by hand.
That's cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And today we're going to teach you binary. Binary, as you may know, is used most often in computers and networking, and is a numbering system based on 2 numbers as compared to our decimal numbering system that uses 10. Binary uses the two digits 0 and 1 to represent yes and no values and otherwise numbers as well. Now, to read binary, you just need to know how to use squares and powers of 2 and how to add. It's pretty simple math. We'll start off with a basic example, 1, 0, 0, 1. Now, going from the right, because that's how binary is read, going from the right, you're going to number your place values out, 2 to the 0, 2 to the first, 2 to the second, and 2 to the third. Now, calculating these out, 2 to the 0 power is 1, 2 to the first power is 2, 2 to the second power is 4, 2 to the third power is 8. Now, we're going to look at the numbers from our original number, 1001. We're going to figure out what numbers we need to use. So, we'll go from the right again. We have a 1 in the 2 to the 0 column, so we'll mark a 1 there. We have nothing in the 2 to the first column, so we'll do nothing there. We have nothing in the 2 to the second column, so we'll write another 0 there. And we have a 1 in the 8th column, so we're going to put 8 here. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 1001 is the binary representation of the number 9. Now, we're going to go to something a little harder here. We'll do 6 digits. 0011. We'll renumber with our place values again. 2 to the 0, 2 to the first, 2 to the second, 2 to the third, 2 to the fourth, and 2 to the fifth. Because we have 6 digits here, and you always start with 0. We're going to again figure out what each one is worth. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. We're going to figure out what each number value is again. Starting from the right again, we have 1, we have a 2, we have nothing here, nothing here, we have 16 here, and we have 32 here. So top that all up. I'm going to break this down a little bit. We have 3 here, and 32 plus 16 is 48. So 48 plus 3 gives you a grand total of 51. So 110011 is the binary representation of the number 51. To conclude, binary is an alternate numbering system used in computers and networking. Uses the digits 0 and 1 instead of going through the whole spectrum of the decimal system we use, 0 through 9. It's used in computers because it can be used as logic, 1 being yes, 0 being no. And that about sums binary up.
So Steve, I hope you learned a thing or two from our good buddy Tavik there about hardcore, straight down lead hacksaw, reading binary by hand. Good stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, hot damn.
Hot damn, as Tavik likes to say. Next segment we have for you, we have a new addition to the cast, which is Jared, and he's going to introduce you how to use rainbow tables and different vulnerabilities. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm a recent addition to the show. I'm friends with everyone from the show as well. So what today I'm going to be teaching you all about is rainbow tables. So first off, we need to define what a rainbow table actually is. Wikipedia defines a rainbow table as a lookup table that has a simple plain text password. It has ciphers and keys in it, and it's generated by a one-way hash. So the point of the rainbow table is simply like a brute force attack. It just basically goes through all this sort of stuff. It basically just goes, it repeats a number of words to get the password out. However, unlike the brute force attack, rainbow tables are actually pretty fast. What we're going to use today to crack the rainbow table is OPH crack. And it's from a live CD of Ubuntu. And basically it takes 10 minutes to load because it is a live CD of Ubuntu. So we're going to basically wait for that to load. It's going to take about 10 minutes, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And we're back, and it's now loaded up. So it's basically loaded up all this stuff on there, and all we have to do is just move the mouse over, click it, and it's going to scan. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to scan. So if you're going to basically try to crack any of this stuff, say on your parents' computer or your brother's computer, it's going to take maybe about half an hour at minimum to do this sort of stuff. So make sure they're not in the house. So it's basically now just cracking that stuff. So we're going to come back in about another 10 to 15 minutes after it's cracked. We're back, and it's now cracked all the passwords, so we now have all of the passwords for Mr. Tavik's computer. And it turns out that his password is tech. So the whole point of the rainbow table, like I said before, is just like a brute force attack. It's just going to go through these things and just attack it. However, there is one or two discrepancies about it. Most versions of Unix, Linux, and BSD have salts in them, and they don't really crack as well. So don't really try them if it's Linux or Unix. Just leave it alone. It's not worth it. Also, if you want to prevent having a rainbow table used against you, turn off the LM hash, because if you turn that off, it basically is like adding WEP to your wireless. So that's all about the rainbow table today. I hope it helps you all out a lot. And see you next time.
So Will, what exactly is an LM hash?
Well, an LM hash was used way back in the days of Windows 3.1 and Windows 95 and stuff like that to do like network-based authentication. It stands for a LAN manager hash, and it's really an old, outdated protocol, and it stores it as 2 LM hashes in your system. So, really big vulnerability that Microsoft never turned off. You know, Microsoft is big for doing that whole backwards compatibility stuff, and you know they really should have turned this off.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, next coming up is my Surfing with Steve segment, continuing from the test show, and we're gonna go right into it. Hi, I'm Steve. You may remember me from the test show doing the Surfing with Steve segments, and good news, we'll be continuing that, and let's get right to it. Our first website will be the Get Human database. I mean, have you ever been on the phone with in line waiting to talk to a human, but you just can't? You're talking to a machine, pressing all these buttons, you get aggravated. So you want to talk to a human. So this website lets you talk to a human by telling you the exact keys and phone number for many popular companies. The keys that you need to press to get to a human, the exact steps. You know, wait a certain amount of time, press these buttons, press star, pound, whatever it takes. There's a lot of companies that it covers in the categories of credit, finance, government, hardware, insurance, internet, mobile, pharmacy, products, shipping, software, stores, telecom, travel, TV, satellite, and utilities. And so it's really easy. You can find it at gethuman.com/US. URL will be at the bottom of the screen. And let's get straight to our second website. Alright, so our second website for you today is the Motivational Poster Generator, and that's found at flagrantdisregard.com. And you ever seen posters such as these at your school or workplace or somewhere like that, and you just want to tear them down and burn them in a violent manner? Well, now you can make your own. And we've made our own for you, too. It features the phrase 1337, a quick tidbit about being elite, and, always for good measure, a random picture of a wombat grazing in the fields. And I hope to see you next time. See ya.
So Steve, those IVR cheat sheets, absolutely a godsend. Where'd you come up with that one?
I don't know. We just found that sort of thing. That's why it's called Surfing with Steve. I just find all this, stuff, and I find it useful. So, yeah.
Scouring the web for the best website.
Exactly.
As always.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, we have a little bit of a tidbit from a LAN party that I hosted a couple of weeks ago, and we'll probably be continuing coverage with the LAN party. But this is just a quick little cooking segment.
Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Lynn. Today we will be making massive ramen. We've already prepared the broth via the instructions on the packet. We have had to dispense the packets into the large cauldron, and we have begun to mix and boil it. The next step, once you have brought it to a boil, you must inject the ramen. Do it with great care. Just do not drop the bag into the cauldron, because you'll get cancer. This particular batch will be 8 bottles of ramen, and we'll feed 10. Ideal for LAN parties and the like. Choose your ladle of choice, mix, and stir with great care. You take your favorite ladle, very carefully dispense the ramen. Now, me personally, I like my ramen a little blocky, so I do not allow it to brew fully. Just
Dispense the ramen. Now we garnish. Go to your favorite spice drawer. Chili powder. Some chili powder.
Why, thank you. This has been Cooking with Lynn.
So this has been TechCentric Episode 1. We hope you enjoyed it. You can contact us via the contact page at techcentric.org. I'd like to apologize to our friends over at Amateur Logic. They had sent us a promo for the old show, but because we abandoned that show, we never had a chance to use it. So we're going to plug them. Here's their link. And a couple other people we'd like to say thanks to is, of course, Infonomicon and Hacker Media, Rant Radio, of course, and Steve, anything else to add?
I think that's about it.
Stay tuned. In about a month, hopefully we'll have another episode for you. See you then. Hello, I am Internet Will Ross.
And I'm Internet Steve.
And we've got a question for you. Do you have all the latest hacks but nowhere to prove them?
Do you like little plastic thumbs to plug into USB ports?
Then, TechCentric invites you to hack our box. This baby is running on a Linux 2.6 kernel, features an 18 keyboard port and 14.4 baud modem. You can hack it at hackthis.techcentric.org. Send all your hacks to hacks@techcentric.org, and we'll be sure to ship you out this prize.
Thanks, and have a great day.
The contest has begun. Let the hacking begin.